What's going on YouTube? Evil Foo here. So a couple weeks ago I got my first of the mini systems, the SEGA Genesis Mini. I was in the hospital and had some time on my hands, and I've always regretted not getting one of these. I didn't have the money when they came out, or really the interest. But I've been super heavy into games again recently for the past couple of years, so I've really been enjoying it. So I got my first mini system, the SEGA Genesis Mini. I also have my Astro City Mini, came a few days after that came, which has been absolutely fantastic. That system is amazing. I haven't spent a ton of time with it yet. But as a lifelong SEGA fan, I bought all the SEGA systems. Even as a kid, I used my, saved up my own money. I had the SEGA Genesis. I bought the SEGA CD, the 32X, the Saturn, the Dreamcast. Love SEGA. It was always SEGA over the Nintendo. I always had both. But anyway, I have been absolutely loving the SEGA Genesis Mini, but it's missing a lot of games on there that I didn't have, or I had as a kid that they don't have on here. So it's kind of disappointing that they're not on here. It's still super fun. But I did some research and found out it's super easy to hack your Genesis Mini and add games on there. HackChi is the name of the software that I use to add the games onto the SEGA Genesis Mini. Super easy, super straightforward to use. When you start up the system, it'll pop up on there, HackChi, and then it loads into the menu as normal. All the original games that were installed on there are still installed on there as they were before. And for some reason it added Mortal Kombat 2. And Mortal Kombat 2 is one of the games I added on here, but it added it to the original games on there for some reason. But if you go down here to the bottom, you can click on the other folders on here, and it will have the other games I added on there. You can set up however many you want per folder. I just left it at the default, which is I think 30 games per folder on there. So you could add a lot more games on here than what I did. I just added games that I had as a kid and games that I loved. Maybe one or two other games that I hadn't played before that I didn't have access to as a kid that I wanted to try out now. I tried to stay away from, I didn't put any garbage titles on there. So I also tried to stay away from any SEGA Genesis Mini 2 games on there, since I'm going to get that as well. And it would be redundant to have them on two different places, but a couple of these, I didn't have the full list at the time when I did this, so a couple of them are going to be repeated. I think Splatterhouse 2 and maybe like Shadow Dance and Revenge of Shinobi, those are all going to be on the... Oh, and Shining Force 2. Yeah, those are all going to be on the Genesis 2, but they're on here now as well. You can put a lot more on here. The storage, the internal storage would hold a lot more games than what I added on here. And then you could also always run a USB storage, like a flash drive storage, and you can store like an unlimited number of games on here and run it that way. So I'm super happy I did this. It's just fantastic reliving the games of my childhood on here, and they all run perfectly, and using genuine hardware. The controller's the same and everything like that. It's fantastic. I don't regret this at all. I don't feel guilty like I'm stealing these ROMs or anything like that. I buy every SEGA product that comes out. Every new collection of Genesis games, I buy those again. I buy all the arcade titles. I'm going to buy, I can't wait for like a Saturn Mini, a Dreamcast Mini, or I would like game collections, arcade model 1, 2, 3 collections to be released on PlayStation and Xbox. That would be fantastic. I'd buy all those. I bought the SEGA Genesis Mini 2. I bought the Astro City Mini. I'm going to buy the Astro City Mini V. I'm going to buy all these products. So SEGA is always going to get money from me. So it's not like I'm stealing these at all. I don't feel guilty at all. I feel actually super fortunate that I'm able to play these as an adult. And it's just fantastic.
You can't escape! You will be the one escaping!
So I wanted to show the program here real quick from your desktop. So you have the HackChi icon up there. You click on that. So it's going to show you all the games from the Japanese version of SEGA like the Mega Drive Mini, and then it's got all the games installed on the US version there. And then below that, these are all the games I've added on there. And one thing that's super cool about this is if you click on a game, for example, it's going to preload in art, like the box art. You can choose to like change the spine art. Like so right here you could go to classic like checkered, the old Genesis games, the checkbox, the grid, whatever you want to call it. And then so obviously I changed it back here to the red stripe version, which is the crappy cardboard box version for the later Genesis games. But like if I didn't like that box art, I could change to this cool Mega Drive one right here, and it would save it like that. So when you load it up on your SEGA Genesis Mini, it would actually load up that picture. So it's pretty cool. So I'll change this one back. So you can really use whatever artwork you want on there. Like for example, the US version of Streets of Rage 3, which is a crap game by the way. Japanese version is way better, but it uses a terrible box art for the US version. So I changed to this cool looking Mega Drive version for the US version. And then since the Japanese version is way better, I also downloaded the Japanese version and I used the Bare Knuckle 3 cover for that one. All right, well, thanks for taking a quick look at my hacked SEGA Genesis Mini. I'm so glad I hacked that thing because I was able to put all the games from my childhood on there. A couple games here and there I haven't tried before, but as a huge SEGA fan, I'm just so excited to relive some of those games I really loved and played a lot as a kid. I'm having an old friend come over that used to play with me years and years ago. I haven't talked to him for a couple years, but he's going to come over and play some 2-player games. It's going to be awesome. Right now I'm waiting for my 6-button controller. I'm getting the SEGA Genesis Mini 2 in the end of October, so probably November it'll come here because that's shipped from Japan. But that comes with the 6-button controller, but I don't want to wait for that, so I ordered one of the Retrobit. It's a Sega Saturn controller actually, which I've had on my Amazon wish list for a long time. But that'll work with that, and that'll work as a 6-button controller, so I can play things like Ranger X, which that's the #1 thing I'm excited about, I think, as far as 6-button controller games go. That was a game I loved as a kid. I want to play that again for sure. But yeah, I'm going to leave you guys with a quick, the first level here of Splatterhouse 2 running on the SEGA Genesis Mini. I got my SEGA Astro City Mini recently. That thing is fantastic. But yeah, as far as this goes, I just wanted to put you can put other emulators on there once you hack your SEGA Genesis Mini or your NES Mini, your Super NES Mini. You can put other emulators on there running other systems. But I like the purity of just using the official emulation. So this is Sega's emulation for their Genesis. So I just put Genesis games on this one. When I get my Mega, excuse me, I almost said Mega Drive, but I'm American. So when I get my Genesis Mini 2 in November, I'm going to put some Sega Genesis CD or Sega CD games on there, since that will have the official emulation for Sega CD on there. And then same thing when I get my Super Nintendo Mini or my SNES Mini or SNES Mini, however you guys want to say it. I call it Super Nintendo. And my NES Mini, I'm going to put NES games on the NES Mini. I'm going to put Super Nintendo games on the Super Nintendo. So yeah, it's fantastic. I really love being able to do this. It's super easy to do, and I'm just having a blast. I hate to see you go, but I love to watch you leave.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks. Don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out.